This is Emsolation.
Hello and welcome to this very special edition of Emsolation Conversation. Joining me today is legitimately one of my favourite humans, someone I'm a massive fan of, as you'll hear. We've just finished the chat and I'm already regretting a bunch of stuff. I'm just so needy. I just want to impress people, you know. Anyway, I think it's okay. Can you just listen to this in the spirit of you guys know me. You know what I'm like, all right? His name is Broden Kelly. He is one part of the Aunty Donna trio. There's Mark and there's Zach also. They have just released their Netflix series, Aunty Donna's Big Old House of Fun. It's going bunter. It's number 3 in the top 10. It's just so glorious. I watched it all in one day. I can't tell you how funny they are. We started out at the Comedy Festival, same year, in the same room. They were lovely, gorgeous humans. They still are, even though they're massive big stars now. If you're not aware of them, this podcast is just a great story of performers and artists who stuck to their guns, who backed themselves, who went out and found their own audience and who are overlooked by commercial TV, everyone. And now their massive success is just a huge fuck you to anyone who doubted them because they're glorious. So we're going to go in now. You're going to hear me nervously waiting for him. And then we're just going to let it play as is, no editing. It's a bit sweary because, you know, when I get amongst other comics, I get a bit sweary, you know, just trying to impress them. Oh, I don't know. Just don't judge me. Just listen to his amazing words. Listen to how they got the Netflix special if you don't get goosebumps. Anyway, enjoy. Broden Kelly, gorgeous, amazing, hot ranger Viking from Aunty Donna. Okay, hi guys. I'm just waiting for Broden to jump on. I'm really nervous. You know how I get weird and needy around other comics, but I've genuinely been a fan of these guys since we did our first comedy festival together. So I'm just waiting for him to come on. Okay, I'm just going to wait. Okay, he's just emailed me. He's coming. It's Broden Kelly from Aunty Donna, Australian comedy trio. I'm just trying to get on my nerves out now with you guys. Okay, he's coming. I think he's coming. 1 minute. Hang on, guys. Wait.
I'm recording.
Good. It's fine. Like, I've already worded up my audience, how needy I get around other comedians. So it's totally cool. And I can confidently say I'm about to bring Aunty Donna to a whole new audience.
That was my hope. The diehard, I call them the M. There was the Kiss Army in the 70s, and then there was, you know, there's BTS now, but then there's also the M diehard Army.
Oh, come on. You've got to have a better collective noun than that.
I'm just trying to think. I was trying to think on the spot, but I'm not quick enough.
Says the improv comic.
Yeah. The Emmonites, the M Night Shyamalans,
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
No, I do get really stupid around other Australian comics, especially male ones. So I'm really just going to try and be totally chill. I know you've done every other podcast there is. Like, I'm pretty sure you're on the fishing one that's coming out tomorrow.
There's some good carp coming out, some good flathead.
Oh, yes. Love a flatty. So I know that you're doing this as a favour to me and I appreciate it.
Disagree, but that's lovely.
No, because I always feel like I'm every comedian's worst nightmare. So
not for me, mate. We started in the same room at Trades Hall.
I know. We did. We literally did.
You know, we both had a little core fan bases of like 50 people who loved us.
Yes.
And we've just been trying to build that and grow that for the last 10 years or so.
Which is why I've had an affinity with you guys. Like, and every time I see you doing well, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, it feels a bit like, I don't know, it's a weird pride, not in a condescending fashion, but just in a like, they've gone out and found their audience and they're really fucking weird and people love them. And I don't know, I think
we're both self-made. And I always, like, we've not had a lot of, we've not had a lot of people, give us opportunity. We've kind of had to find our own people. We haven't had the breakthroughs that other people have had. But do you know what?
No.
Looking back, those kind of, leg ups from certain places would have been really, really helpful. But do you know what?
Yep.
Looking back, I'm very happy that we can say, like, we did it ourselves. And I feel like in the same way you do, we have a connection with our audience in a much more thoughtful, sincere way.
And I thought about the power of bringing together the Aunty Donna audience with the Emsolation audience. And that is terrifying and arousing in equal measures.
Do you know what I
for
think?
me.
You might have to beep this. They're going to fuck.
They're going to fuck. Oh, there's no beeping on my... Oh, come on.
They're going to fuck,
I'm a woman.
think.
Yeah, yes, they're going to fuck. They're going to make amazing babies. Like, it's just, you're talking to a woman who said bacterial vaginosis on Channel 10 at 8:30 p.m. So really...
Yeah, tell them what it is. Tell them what it's like.
Yeasty infections. And that's what our beautiful audiences will make together. Just lots of stunning yeast infections. This is exactly how I hoped it would go already.
Oh,
so,
good.
Aunty Donna, you did mention 2012 was your first comedy festival. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, and it was mine too. We debuted our first festivals together. I'm much older than you guys though. What are you, 34?
I'm 31 years old.
I hate you.
How old are you, Em?
I hate you and
Is that
you.
rude to ask? I don't give a fuck. How old are you?
41, bro.
Mate, that's great. You're killing it.
Mate,
You got this
mate, that's great.
I'm always looking at your Instagram, and you just got your beautiful kids, your beautiful husband. You're going for walks.
Yeah.
You're putting on fancy clothes. You're smashing 41. You're fucking smashing it.
Oh my God, it's a house of lies. It's a house of lies. I secretly cry alone at night at 2 a.m. into towels, questioning all that I hold dear. I mean, I do that as well. But yes, I have carved out a nice little life in the bush, but that's beside the point. So, Aunty Donna in pantsuits. I remember seeing you guys and just falling in love. You were just everything I wanted to be and wasn't brave enough to be at that point.
That's lovely.
The first thing I say about your comedy, you're so fucking brave. I mean, how dare you? Who gave you permission to be so brave?
No, we're not being brave. I reckon what we did, right, is we all went to acting school because we all wanted to be like real, legit, serious actors. I thought about this the other day, and it's kind of awful to think about now, but all I wanted to be was Jeffrey Rush. Like, that was like, he's... and I took a different turn. I took a very, very different turn.
Thank God.
Yes,
I mean,
thank God.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we all went to acting school and we all did Shakespeare, and then we got out in 2011 and we were putting on really like challenging theatre in Richmond and Smith Street, Collingwood in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. And the only people that would come was our poor parents. And well, this is really hard. And then the funny kids from acting school kind of got together and went, maybe we should do a show for Comedy Festival we'll learn how to write by making that show. And then, we'll learn how to write. So the first time we ever did anything, it was just us going, we don't know how to write any comedy. We know what comedy we love, but let's just hope that we're strong enough actors and performers that we can kind of trick people into thinking that we've written something good. And that's pretty much, that's all it was. So we knew that we weren't very good writers, but we would do it with 1,000% confidence and go, we are incredible. And like, we had a clown teacher at university. He used to say, like in a very thick accent, if you think you have gold, you have gold. If you think you have shit, you have shit. And so like, that was just the mentality of that first show. And it was cool, yeah. Well, like that, we got nominated for a little award, and I remember thinking, like, well, this is what I'm just going to have to do for the rest of my life now. I've found something that I'm semi-okay at.
It was not a little award, the Golden Gibbo, the award.
Named after the wonderful Linda Gibson. Great, brave. There's a brave comedian.
Brave, correct. I know, and so apt that you guys won it too. But so, I don't even know where to start. I should let everyone know they've got a new show on Netflix, Aunty Donna's Big Old House of Fun, which I consumed in a day. And
that's good for the algorithm.
The
algorithm likes
that.
What
have you learned about being on? Tell me about the algorithm on Netflix. What have you learned?
Oh, they're cagey. They're all cagey. YouTube's cagey. Facebook's cagey. They're all cagey. They'll give you little hints, or they'll just say, this would be a good idea. And I think, like YouTube, we know that they want people to, the only way you can be a big YouTuber these days is if you make like 4 10-minute videos a week. That's the only way they'll push you to the front of people's eyeballs. But then just Netflix, they love people to come and watch things in a big go, which is why lots of Netflix Netflix shows have big cliffhangers and they dump them all in one go. But it's kind of cool because it's like Netflix is a place where it's not like 10 or 7 where they're trying to, fill ad space. It's literally just they're trying to make everyone in the house watch. They're trying to make something for everyone in the house, and they want you to, not have to get other competing, platforms. So that's why there's weird, crazy pricks like us on there, and there's also The Crown, and there's also The Queen's Gambit.
Oh, you've named the 3 shows I'm currently ping-ponging between.
We are the top three trending shows, and it's probably your fault, Em, but the top 3 trending shows in Australia at the moment, it goes The Crown, goes Queen's Gambit, goes Aunty Donna. And
I love it. Just 3 powerful redheaded women making their way in life.
That's right. How far into The Crown are you?
I'm up to episode 5, where the guy's just broken into Buckingham Palace. Are you watching The Crown?
I literally just finished that episode too. We're on exactly the same trajectory. I'm really liking Diana. She's really cool.
That actress, what a find!
Yeah, that would have been such hard casting.
100%, and so beloved. But are you struggling with? Someone compared Gillian Anderson's Thatcher to Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, and now I can't unsee it.
I am the Prime Minister. It's bold talking about brave performances. Like I don't mind it, to be honest. If someone really goes for something, I'm all in. But
agreed.
Yeah,
I love passion. I don't care what your passion topic is. I will be drawn to you if you are fucking flats to the wall in on it. Which is why your show, and we've got to remember to keep telling me. I mean, you don't need me again.
No, it's all good. We're all good. Well, let's just talk shit, Bruce.
No, we will. But I do want to just so there's 3 of you and Aunty Donna. Remember, there will be some people who I'm introducing you guys to, which is unbelievable because you are the most successful comedy group in Australia currently, easily.
Oh, that's lovely.
Wow, it's true. And there's another guy, Mark, who's the small Italian one. And then there's Zach, who's the silken haired. Oh, that hair, I fantasize. What does he use to make it so shiny?
I don't know.
He must use a coconut oil or something.
Because I'm the balding one, which was what you were going to say next. And so we
No, you're the spunk.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you're the heartthrob of the group.
Here we go. Yeah.
Now, you are.
This is what I want your audience to hear. This is good. I don't know what his hair routine is, but we have no connection. Wow. We can't talk about it at all, unfortunately. But he does have stunning hair. Stunning.
Does.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of silly comedy boys, to be honest. We grew up loving like Leno and Woodley in Australia and the Young Ones and all those goofy shows. And
same.
Yeah.
I know. But the reason I think I was drawn to you is because my all-time favourite movie is The Blues Brothers.
Oh, cool.
You guys, I don't know, that absurd kind of, and you've got music and just taking things so far off the cliff that it's funny again. And I don't know, I've always been drawn to, that's my style. When anyone says to me, what makes you laugh, I always give you guys as a reference and, Community and Blues Brothers, Life of Brian, just stuff that was just harsh and weird and jolted me out of, my life.
No, that's cool. Blues Brothers is such a unique, has there ever been any other film made like the Blues Brothers before or after? And I'm not including Blues Brothers 2000 or whatever it was.
We never speak of that. We do not mention that.
But that's it's a comedy film. It's a sketch film. It's got
music.
Is Aretha Franklin's in it?
Fucking Aretha Franklin is in it. I know.
How did they do this?
Well, I have blueprinted every live show off, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I always every performance I've ever done, I have a big band, I have dancers. There's show numbers. There's also really harsh, awful humour. I mean, I did a whole show about my baby dying, and that was a comedy show. And it was I've always applied the Blues Brothers filter to anything I'm making. My dad played in a Blues Brothers tribute band as well.
Cool.
As lead guitarist and singer, and they were massive. And it's always been a part of my. He supported Sammy Davis Jr. when he came to Australia to tour. My dad played in the support band. So
how incredible!
It's just always been this link. So you guys remind me so much. I know it's a weird comparison to draw.
No, that's
maybe
cool.
No one's done that to you, but it's that idea of just not giving a fuck how far you take the audience.
It's a great reference as well for you, and I love that that's kind of your reference point for your shows because what you do is so unique to anyone else's stuff. So that makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways. Is it like the Nazi stuff in that movie and
Yeah, and Carrie Fisher just turning up with a fucking easy. Like,
yeah, she's fucking badass in that movie. And John Belushi and the energy that man had, he obviously had it for very nefarious reasons, but like just an incredible performer. Oh my gosh.
I know, the whole thing. Your show, so it's on Netflix, the three of you there. You've got amazing other comedians involved. It's produced by Ed Helms or Egg Helms. That will make sense to people when they watch it. You've got Weird Al Yankovic, Christian Scholl, who's your dishwasher flatmate. The whole... I just want to fucking say, and we'll just talk about other shit. Well fucking done. You stuck to your guns for all this time. No fucker in mainstream let you in. You found your community. They're so powerful and unstoppable, and you made your own magic, and I just love that.
Oh,
I love it.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, we just kept hammering away. That was kind of our mentality, like, and we had a really cool fan base who, just backed us in and liked everything we did. So that was awesome. But yeah, we just had this belief that we'd eventually get there, and we'd get to make a TV show. It's all we've ever really wanted to do. And like it came out last Wednesday, and the response has been like really positive, and I'm really, really happy that people are liking it, because it's, well, like you said, often when you make a TV show, you kind of have to change the core of who you are a little bit to appeal to people, to new people, and we just didn't do that. And this show is going out to 190 countries around the world, as is Netflix, and we had to decide, were we going to change jokes and make them work for people in Poland and, Israel and, Japan, or would we just stick to our guns? And I'm kind of proud to say that there's references to the Channel 9 footy show,
Hoodoo
Gurus, Car City Ringwood, Grant Denyer. Like, it's and like what's been awesome about that is I wasn't sure what the response would be, but Australians are just that have watched it are just like, I'm so happy that it's just an Australian show filled with American actors, but also no one overseas has come back and said, I don't like that you mentioned Grant Denyer because I don't know who he is. They just don't care either way. They just think it's a fake name made up. Like, who would be called Grant Denyer?
Exactly. But I love that because Americans don't make concessions for us.
No.
Never.
We grew up watching The Simpsons and not knowing what was going on.
But still knowing it was good and funny.
Exactly.
But you guys did. I was watching it the whole time going, they give zero fucks about the American audience. I think there was one concession you made where I think maybe Mark said creamer instead of milk.
Yeah, but he does that. He's a weirdo. He just says shit like that. He says gas station, and I'm like, mate, it's a fucking petrol station.
Petrol.
Yeah, what are you saying gas station for? So he's loath to do that anyway. But it was good fun to just confuse everyone.
Well, that's the thing. I wonder how many. It makes me laugh to think about. I lay awake last night thinking about, because I was talking to you today. All the confused Americans watching it, just going, what the fuck is going on? Because everything's very confusing for them at the moment anyway, which is, I think, part of the reason you guys have come at the right time, because your level of weird is the only thing that will jolt anyone out of what's going on. Because any comedy that's attempting satire at the moment, is it satire or is it reality? You
100%.
Can't tell the fucking difference.
I think there's well and truly enough out there of people talking about him.
Oh, yeah.
And you know who I'm talking about. And, like, there's enough people
who should not be named, yes.
Yeah, we know. There's enough people talking about him. There's enough people worrying for all of us. And this show came out, like 5 days after the election. And the general feedback I've felt is people just going, thank fuck I don't have to think about anything. I can just sit here and laugh and enjoy it.
Watching you guys, even just there's a sketch where you complimenting each other on your pre-date clothes, and then you just start realising how stupid the word clothes is. And then Mark goes into this full fucking improv sex scene, and I just sat there going, this is exactly the balm and the salve my soul needs. I didn't realise it would come in a tiny Italian red corduroy suit. I didn't know that was my medicine.
It's a good point. It's about, I think it's worth, if anyone does want to give it a watch, just leave your brain at the door.
Oh, yeah.
Just come in and just go, okay, I'm happy to not think for a little bit, and I think you'll be best served doing that.
I'm just going to be a nerd now and pick your creative process, because I'm asking for myself, and this is my podcast, so I do whatever I want.
I love it.
When you set out to write a sketch show like that, how much of it is planned and how much of it is you got? Like, for instance, that scene. Did he plan to go that far, or were you just going with it in the moment?
Well, if I can get philosophical, right? When we first started writing shows, and it's like it's a lesson for life, at least for me. When we first started writing it, we'd sit in a closed room and write everything ourselves and not get anyone's opinion on it. We'd just write it and focus on it. And then the first time that anyone would see it would be like opening night of our tour, like at Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Oh my God, that's my process right now still, 15 years later.
Well, it works to a certain extent, but then one day we can't so what would happen is one year would make a good show and then the next year would make a not so good show because, it just didn't resonate with the audience for whatever reason, right? So about 5 years in, after we've been performing for a while, we kind of realised, well, we've done a fit. We've almost hit 10,000 hours of performing, I reckon. And we were trying to we were figuring out our kind of method. So what we started to do is we'd send out emails to a mailing list and say, there's a free show on, and not say it's Aunty Donna, but there's a free show on at this venue Friday night. It's comedians testing their material. And at the very, very early stages of sketches and ideas, we'd just get them up before we learnt the lines when it was definitely not funny. And we'd get on stage in front of people and just eat shit, like just get our asses handed to us by the audience. No one would laugh. And by the end of it, we'd have absolutely no ego, just completely like, I am the worst comedian in the world. I couldn't have done a worse job. We all feel awful. And then we'd come back into the office next week and learn from it and develop it and then do another performance, and that one would be slightly better. And we do that like wash and repeat like 10 times where we're testing it in front of people and being humiliated by them not working. And then by the time the shows were ready to go and it was in front of a paying audience, we'd built this really tried and tested show, and people, like, it just made it much more fleshed out. It made it much more in the room, more present. And so sketches like the one where Mark is miming out an entire, it's called Home Run, where Mark's miming out an entire mimed scene where he ends up fucking his partner, who isn't there.
No, he's playing both roles.
Exactly, yeah. We'd done that in front of audiences 100 times, and we'd built it to know exactly where people would laugh, what wasn't clear to them. And so by the time it's on TV, we'd performed that live all across America, all across Canada, New Zealand, Australia, the UK, everywhere. And we knew exactly comedically what people respond to and stuff. So the lesson, I guess, for us is don't be afraid to be humiliated to get to a place where you're happy.
Oh my God, that is incredible. My process is still, the first time I run jokes is opening night.
That's so scary to me. Like, how do you get through that day? I don't think I'd be able to get through.
Fine.
You cry. Well, that's good as long as you're managing in some way.
No. I don't cry. No, I actually feel like I'm a bit superstitious about material, that I want it to have magic in it still.
That's a good point.
I don't want to say the words too many times, and I very rarely stick to a script. Very, very, very rarely. My shows are different so it's really hard for my band, and it's really hard for anyone who's trying to work with me.
Yep.
But I get really sidetracked by the audience stories. There's so much audience interaction because that's, I think, where I'm at my strongest, where I'm just kind of bouncing off someone in the audience about how their day was, and we'll lose half an hour because someone's skipped their Weight Watchers meeting to be at my show. Then we talk about why they're doing Weight Watchers, and then like I had to call someone's Weight Watchers person to lie for them. So I don't know. I don't want to be too structured. So hence why my shows ended up going for nearly 3 hours, and it's like a hostage situation by the end of it. But yeah, I told Tom Gleeson that I did that once, and he was just like, what?
Yeah,
and then I realised how weird I was because I'm not in the comedic community, and because I just made it up as I went along. I taught myself comedy, and some would argue not very well. And I only found out it was weird that the first time I do my trial show is opening night when I told Tom Gleeson.
But I think the core of it is right, because it's like we're all trying to do the same thing, as we're trying to take truths that, like, things that we find true, whether that's a joke or just like, this is my journey or my story and this is why it's funny. Yeah. And you're trying to express that in a way that everyone can understand and connect with. So you're doing the exact same thing as us. It's just we're getting to the same beach in a different way. We're taking different roads.
It's true. But if I'm being honest, would love to make what you guys make. And in a way I do. I mean, I had 12 dancing vulvas, but I don't know. I'll admit something very embarrassing to you.
Please.
I got an email from my daughter's drama teacher, who's a mate of yours, Nick.
Yes.
And he said to me, Broden Kelly's trying to get in contact with you. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. Oh my God, they're going to ask me to fucking be in a sketch. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
I'm sorry.
I'm so excited. And then I contacted you. I was really cool. I waited a couple of days. And then you're like, yeah, we've got a new Netflix show and we'd love to have a chat to you about it. And I was like, oh, yay, that's so... They don't want you in their gang, Em. But...
Well, I consider you more like an island. Like, you're out in the forest. There's no way to get in contact. Like, I had to go through a friend who's a drama teacher. Like, it's like, there's rumours of Rusiano coming into town soon. Yeah, she's been sighted. So, like... That's good to know. It's good to know that the Rusiano wants to be involved. It's good to know for the future.
You would never put me in. Why would you? Like, of course, don't ruin your brand by including me.
Never say never. I because there might just be that, and I say this in the nicest way, but you could be a very good mum in something, I think.
Fuck off.
A young mum, a yummy mummy.
Oh, that's even more offensive. Jesus Christ.
I'm digging a hole.
Broden, I may have spawned, but I'm a person first.
Absolutely.
All right? How dare you? Jesus.
Put that on a T-shirt.
I cared for a long time about how my peers viewed me, and I wanted to be, at the hi-fi bar in the gang for comedy festivals, and I wanted people to take me seriously. But
fuck them.
Exactly. How did you not care about... but everyone already thinks you're rad, but how did you guys not get sucked into that Melbourne comedy vortex that we all do?
Well, it's easy. It's easy for me to say as well because, right, when you finish a show, you've got your band and you've got Lucy and everything and you go off, but it's you. It's entirely you. Yeah. When I write a show, when I tour, when I'm in a hotel room, most of my life as an adult has been shared with two other boys in Mark and Zach as the members. So we share everything. Like, we don't need to go to the bar afterwards and talk. We have each other. And we have each other for better or worse, to be honest. We laugh together and we cry together and so that's been the fail-safe for us is we can always just talk to each other and we don't need to, I guess, do that bar thing, I guess.
And I'm just needy. I'm just one of those fucking...
Do you remember the year? I remember there was Trades Hall. We were in this tiny little room together at Trades Hall.
Yeah.
And then the next year was at Palais. Mm-hmm. That's fucking ridiculous, Em. No one has that trajectory apart from you. Not to do an ego boost for no reason, but it's a testament to you and your fan base that you were able to do that. Oh my God.
It's also become about me trusting my fan base, as you know.
Sure.
If I was shit, they wouldn't keep coming back.
No, you need sincerity.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah, they'd come once and be like, oh yeah, but each year the shows get bigger and stupider and more over the top, but because of them. So
yeah,
it has been crazy. But I just remember you guys one year you did the bus tour.
Yeah, we did. So we was in our early years when we were trying.
It was so good.
We were trying to sell tickets to our show, and we were trying to find ways to get people to come to Wednesdays. Wednesdays are notoriously horrible. You can't sell tickets to Wednesdays at the comedy festival because everyone wants to go on the weekends or on the cheap days. So we decided that we would do a walking bus tour through the city to our show. We'd meet you at Melbourne Town Hall and we'd walk you to our venue and do fun characters along the way. We did that not really knowing how big our fan base had built since the last year. We were expecting it to be 10 kids coming along. Cut to, it's a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock and we're walking 180 people, unregulated, no police assistance, through the city, up Little Burke, and everyone is freaking out. It really it was a cool, looking back on it, people were like, who the fuck are these guys? They're blowing everything up.
Yes. That's what we were like. I was like, fuck those geniuses. We used to hang. I used to wait for you. I would wait to see the crowd chuffing in behind you. It was just
the most stressful thing I've ever had to do, I think. I was just one day a kid's going to die on this and it's going to be my fault and I'm going to have to go and perform some silly sketch comedy after it.
Now, I want to ask you an official question.
Please.
How does one get a Netflix show?
It's pretty simple.
Talk to me about that.
It's
not, because you're the first ones.
Well,
fuck off.
What happened, right? It was like 5 years ago. We were just a couple of dumb YouTube kids, and we got an unsolicited email from a US manager, and he was like, "I'm a fan of you guys. If you're ever wanting to do some stuff over here, just reach out and send. I'd love to rep you over here." And we're like, "Well, this is clearly someone catfishing us. This is someone trying to get our bank account details."
Definitely. Yes.
And he kept talking, and he kept sort of organising these meetings and Zooms. I'm like, okay, so he's a real person. And then one day he was like, "All right, enough's enough. I need you to come over here and do some in-person meetings." And this is in about 2015. And we're like, okay. And so we put the money down for us all to fly over. We just used our own money. We flew there.
Good.
We didn't know if we still weren't 100% it was going to be real. We landed. We went to his office, and he existed. This guy was real. This was a legit manager who had just liked our stuff, and he was a comedy nerd. And he'd booked up a week of meetings with Hollywood executives, and we're like, this is ridiculous. And he lent us his buddy's car. And we just I remember we landed at 10 a.m. in Los Angeles, and by midday, I was walking around unguarded on the Fox lot to do meetings. This is fucking absurd. And then one of the meetings that week was with Ed Helms' production company. They just liked us, and they said, "Let's try and make a TV show." And we're, "Oh, okay, yeah, whatever." And so we just very slowly developed it with them. You kept doing emails back and forth, literally months in between correspondence. But we thought, even if nothing comes, it's just a fun thing to do, a hobby. It's just to develop this thing. And meanwhile, we're touring and trying to make TV shows in Australia. 4 or 5 years later, the production company's like, "Okay, so we've lined up all these ducks. Let's pitch to some places." And we were touring in the US at this time, so we thought, well, let's do it then. We went over, we pitched to 3 streaming services, and this is still, all of us are just this is just a funny thing to do. This is not going to happen. And we went into all of the streaming meetings just "Oh, yeah, haha," and cracking jokes and absolutely not taking it seriously and probably being a bit disrespectful. And and we did it, and one of them was Netflix, and we came home, and a month later, we're in our office, and we just recorded a podcast. I remember, it's one of those moments that you'll always remember. And we're in our office, and our manager called us and just said, "Answer your fucking phone. The US is calling." And I was like, "Oh," and we put it on speaker, and it was one of the producers from Ed's company. He said, "Hey, Netflix would like to give you 6 episodes." And we all just screamed. We just lost our mind. And it took ages to finally happen, with contracts and things, but we couldn't talk about it for 2 years because all of it was...
Oh my God, Broden!
So we're just walking around. Everyone's like, "What are you up to?" And we're like, "Oh, I bought a hat." We couldn't say anything.
It's so true, because especially with comedians, "Oh, what's going on?" And then you feel like you have to quickly reel off, your bio for that moment in time. "I've got this going on, I'm working on this show." And you had fucking Netflix. You had the Queen's Gambit. You had...
We had the Rook.
You had it. You had the Rook. And you couldn't play him. It. Oh, mate, how did you keep that secret?
Oh, it was pretty horrifying. It actually killed me because, also Hollywood has a reputation for things always falling through. So it was being on the precipice of a cum for for 2 years, and we received contracts on a Friday, and we flew out on the Monday when it finally happened. And and when we were there, they gave us all cars. They put us up in Hollywood Boulevard, baby, and we just lived there for 5 months and just had an absolute dream run of making a show that is just ours. It's no one else's. We made it. No one will ever be able to take it away from us. If people like it or they don't, that's neither here nor there for me. We got to do this fucking cool thing. We did it ourselves, and it's an incredible story I'll always have.
Oh my God! I have goosebumps. That story is Broden. So many people will listen. You're just another example of backing yourself, making your own magic, and just fucking sticking to your guns, all the things I bitch on about continuously for the last decade, you're a shining example of that. And you have a fucking Netflix show, bruh.
That's worth saying, Em. It's like and the road to here has just been paved with people saying you suck. So that's important for people to hear. Like the only road to doing shit that you're proud of is like a road of people saying you're shit. Just know that.
Oh, it is. And you know what else it is? For me, it's constantly defending and like being sheer princess of power out front of what I want to make. Like there's always some going, oh, can you just bend it this way? Can you just make it like this? Can you just maybe do this version of what you make? And I don't know if it's more compounded because I'm a woman, but just constantly having to say, no, I don't want to do that. No, we're not going to do that. No,
I would say 100% it would be like, I can't imagine for you, it would be like me times 10 what I have to go through. Like self-questioning and like, if you, it's that thing of you've just got to always be checking with yourself and going, am I proud of this? Is this what I want?
Yes.
And then just like fucking doubling down.
Yeah, the doubling down is the hard part.
Yes.
But once you got to surround yourself, which you have, you got to surround yourself with checkpoints, with people that you can go, wait, am I being a fucking cunt about this or am I right?
Absolutely.
And then I have so many of them in my life that come back and go, no, stick to your guns. Or maybe that's not the hill you want to die on. Maybe let's just let them have that one so you can have this one. I'm not very good at being strategic. I'm all heart and no brain. So I think, like, I just love so much. When I was watching it, I got really teary watching it because, you know, I'm an emotional person and be weird.
I cried too when I watched it because I was just so exhausted.
Did you cry?
When it was Annie, I had to do a Facebook Live to try and drive people to watch it at 7:00 when it came out. And it was on in the other room, and my partner Annie came in and looked at me and said, "It's up." And I just emotion cried for like I couldn't get up from my chair. I was just so tired. It'd just been such a journey of 2-3 years, and I was just like, I have nothing else. And then I watched it, and I hadn't watched it properly without a critical eye.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, oh, this is quite good.
I love you. It's a beautiful, shiny, wonderful, true, honest thing that you've made. And that's why everyone loves it, because you maintain the rage, man. Like, there is nothing not authentically Aunty Donna in that whole thing. Like, except for Mark letting the team down with Creamer. But
yeah, fucking Creamer, Mark. Jesus, we were almost there. We almost had a perfect game.
I'm glad, because so often with performers, they just move on to the next thing without stopping and rolling out to the edges of the moment and basking in it. And especially it's not very Australian to go, fuck yeah, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no,
you guys, I hope that you've done some fuck yes, I'm awesomes, because what you've done is it's just also encouraging other performers, and the arts is kind of under attack at the moment. So you're encouraging other young kids and other comedians and other performers that it is cool to keep just doing your shit, and people will eventually see you. It's fucking good, man.
Oh, that's great, man. And thank you for all your lovely words. That's very and thank you for watching it. That's very lovely.
Broden Kelly, I'm very proud of you because I'm a mum, so it's okay if I say that.
Yes, it is.
Thank you for coming on this podcast that I know is not your normal thing.
Yes. No, I'm fucking honoured to be on it, to be honest. And hello to... If you see me on the street and you know me from this podcast, you come up and you give me a little high five. Well, not because of COVID. You just give me a pretend high five and say...
Oh, yes.
Hello.
And can I just let people know who are... Broden Kelly does look like a sexy Viking. I'm just putting it out there. So, I talk a lot about Vikings on this podcast because I'm obsessed. Like, I bounce between RuPaul's Drag Race and violent Nordic men.
That's the spectrum of gender, isn't it?
Pretty much. And so when I say to people, and we do love to totally objectify men on this podcast, Broden Kelly looks like a really hot, big, rang Viking. So you guys they're all going to frantically Google image search you now as well.
This is why I came on. I was hoping we would get to this, so that's good.
All right, dude. I'm officially pressing stop on the recording.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, mate.
That's it. Thank you for listening, guys. Don't forget to go and check out Aunty Donna's Big Old House of Fun on Netflix. It's so great. It's so funny. Wasn't he delicious? I think I kind of pulled it together halfway through. Thanks for listening to Emsolation, a conversation with Broden Kelly. Tell a friend if you liked it. Why not? It's a good story. See you guys.